Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more worried about the...
What's up, all you SPCM lovers? This is Nasty Bob 7 coming at you with another video. And today, I got some Destiny gameplay. It's on the map Shores of Time, and it's a little bit of Clash. Or Team Deathmatch, whatever you want to call it, same thing. Alright, so in this video, there's basically going to be like my review, sort of pros and cons of what I think about Destiny. So let's jump right into it. Let's first talk about the pros. First thing that I like about the game, it's a first-person shooter. It's made by Bungie. I think that's great. Bungie made Halo 2, and that was one of my most favorite games of all time. I mean, I'm a big fan of first-person shooters, Call of Duty, and all that jazz. Shooters in general, because, you know, I was going to say Gears of War, but then I realized I was a third-person shooter, but still. I just love shooters. So that makes this game good right off the rip. I mean, because it was made well. It's a good first-person shooter. You know, I mean, it's not cheese. It's good. Another thing that I like about the game is the Crucible, the campaign, all the co-op missions. All that is linked together with your character. So if you level up in campaign, then, you know, like basically you get your level, right? Say you're level 20. You're level 20 in campaign, co-op, and multiplayer. And I think that's really cool how it's all connected and you all, you know, it all levels up as one. Another cool thing is how there's classes. There's Warlock, Hunter, and Titan. I personally have a Hunter. Marksman Dan has a Warlock. And I don't have any close friends that have a Titan. But Titans look pretty dope. And I think that's really awesome. And then each class has like its own like, you know, tree to level up with different abilities and different things of the sort, you know, like, you know, different types of grenades, secondary grenades, you know, your super ability. Each class has a special super ability. The one that I have right now, I get the golden gun, which is a one-shot kill. I have 3 shots, but it's also on a timer. You'll see it used in this game. And then each class actually also has like 2 different things. So then there's another subclass called the Blade Dancer for the Hunter, and it's a different super and different abilities and different grenades and stuff like that. So I think that's really pretty awesome. And then the next thing is that the game's just really addicting. You know, when I first played the beta, I didn't think I was going to like it. But then when I got the game, I realized that I do like it very much. And, you know, I play it so much. And there's just so much to do with the whole loot system, you know, because when you play the campaign, when you play multiplayer, when you play co-op missions, there's always a chance that you're going to get an engram, which is loot. You know, you can get rare, legendary, or exotic loot. And that drops randomly throughout the game. So that's cool to try to get the best loot you can. And that just adds in a whole extra thing that makes it super fun. And then another great thing about the game is the tower. The tower is like the central hub where you can, you know, there's other players there. There's stuff to do. There's vendors to go buy guns, to buy armor, to buy new vehicles, all sorts of stuff to do there. And that's really awesome, just to have that main hub. And it's not just like a menu that you do, you know, by hitting start or something. It's actually a place to go and you can walk around. There's vendors. It's really cool. And then another thing is events. Right now there's an event going on called the Queen's Wrath. And it's just an event with new bounties, you know, new form of favor, you know, just stuff like that, new loot. And it's just cool that they're going to introduce events here and there to keep it fresh. I mean, I think the game's great. I have a lot of fun with it, and those are just some points that I'd like to touch on that really, you know, make the game enjoyable for me. Now I'm going to talk about some of the bad things that I think about the game. I think the story is pretty short. I played and beat the story, the core story missions, you know, first 24 hours I had the game. Another thing is you play a lot of the same missions. They have strike missions, daily heroic missions, weekly heroic missions, weekly strike missions, all sorts of these sub-playlists, but there are a lot of the same missions just on different difficulties. So, you know, you'll play the same mission 10, 20 times, you know, and then they begin to get a little boring. Another thing is there's the raid, the Vault of Glass, and to do that you get when doing that, you get raid gear and stuff, and that's the only way to hit level 30. I made a video on that. And, like, that's really cool, but the raid is just insanely hard. You need a group of 6 people that are communicating, know what they're doing, good at the game, and be able to, like, mesh well to, like, achieve these tasks that you have to do throughout all the boss levels. So, it's very challenging. I have yet to beat the raid. I like the raid. I think it's real cool. But maybe it was just a little bit easier because, you know, if you don't have any friends or something, you know, and you don't have people to play with, you'll pretty much never beat it, because when you join a strike mission, you're queued up in a matchmaking and you find people. But in the raid, you're not queued up with you, so you don't get random people. So you have to find people to play with and invite them to your game. You can't just search, you know what I mean? And then another thing I'd like to talk about is Salvage, which is a multiplayer game mode. And I like the game mode. I think it's fun, but I sort of just wish it was there all the time. It's only there once in a while. It's not there 24/7 for some reason. I don't know why. You know, it's there some weekends and some weekends are not. It's there for like a week, maybe. It's weird. I don't get it. I wish it was there all the time. I think the game mode's great, but I don't know why it's not there like all the time. And then the last thing I'd like to talk about is the bounty system. The bounties, there's not really a lot of them. They get very repetitive, just like the missions. You keep doing them and doing them and doing them, and they get a little boring. But they're still fun to do. You do bounties to get experience and favor towards your different factions, such as Vanguard and Crucible and stuff like that. And then that's how you rank up and buy loots and all that jazz. So I like the bounties, but I think it's a little lame how it's just very repetitive. You do a lot of the same bounties. You know, I've had to get headshots with a certain type of gun, you know, like 10 times in a row already. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit ridiculous. And then also some of the bounties, especially with the Queen's Wrath, I've noticed are a little bit like glitched or something. But you know, I have this one bounty. Right, two examples of two bounties that I have right now, both for Queen's Wrath. One is kill fallen walkers, which I made a video on, and how to do it. On the Devil's Lair, there's a fallen walker, which is the big spider-looking thing. And to get that bounty, you have to kill 3 of them. Now, I've killed 4 of them, but it says I only have 2 done. I don't know if it's glitched, if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't seem to be working for me. And then another example that I have is I have to get 50 kills wearing the Queen's shader and emblem, and I am wearing them both, and I've gotten, you know, I've been playing Crucible all day, and I have no kills towards it, so I don't know if it's not the right shader or what, because it's not super specific, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong there, and that's sort of a pain in the neck. I sort of wish Bungie would fix that. But I mean, overall, I think the game is great. I think there's a lot more positives than there are negatives. I just wish there was a little bit more to the story. I wish there was a little bit more variety of the missions. I wish there was not as many bugs in the bounties. I wish Salvage was just there 24/7. But other than that, I think the game is great. I highly recommend it. I think it's super fun. I've been having a blast playing it. And so yeah, pretty much I think this game is great. And I highly recommend it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out, homies.
Weekends.